dropping syllables on the digital like slow data. I'm original, making paper. Tell them haters, see you later, and catch the vapor. Like, where will I go from here? Still too early to tell, but you can bet I'm prepared for anything. And that's no lie. Spotlight's on you, so you know it's showtime.
Imagine that you had nothing to gain from change and even less to gain if the world stayed the same. Imagine you were forced into another man's name, born into the title of another man's shame, and believe your skin to be a curse and a pain. They hid the fact that you walked this earth first, stole the claim of a proud people. My worth never was considered equal, considered ignorant, thieving, and feeble. Imagine you heard the verses and internalized their belief systems. Imagine they stole all the lives that you could give them and gave you little back. They allowed you to laugh and you felt that you were free, trapped your past in the past that welcomed you to the present. Although it's obvious who lacks the power and who remains dominant, I still speak. Although I often feel weak, I pray the ancestors rest well in their sleep. This isn't my world. This isn't my world, it never has been my world. They pressed your baby girl's curls and told her she was now beautiful at long last. She wished for their skin to be a part of their cast. But what about you? What about the beauty of you? What about us? Diamonds are our daughters of dust. To dust and ashes, they burnt us alive. Some hung from trees like autumn leaves for us to survive. And they asked us to forget. And so many of us did, and we didn't speak about it and chose not to teach our kids. But what now? Their world closes around us. Chains on our feet saw the seas deep. They drowned us without a second thought. Abandon our humanity. It's like we never fought to alleviate the tragedy. Now we see ourselves only through their eyes and live our lives in the shadow of their lies. I was taught in his schools and raised in his community. Appropriation and assimilation is his unity. But what about us? God, what about us? What about us? Even our own sons we distrust. We're one and the same. All we do is try to place ourselves inside of their petty game, and few of us know from whence we came. So much confusion, where do we place the blame? Some of them, they have asked me why I'm angry, but what I am is tired. Tired of having to fight for the freedom we've desired for so many years. So many tears roll down the cheeks of these black faces in fear. Heartache and pain standing over the graves of our forefathers that were descended from slaves. I'm tired of reacting. I just want to live, but we have nowhere to call our own. So little left to give. Where do we place the blame? How will we stay the same? It's funny how we still call each other the same names that they used to keep us down. It's like we love the sound of insults. The result is the word is still around. Loud and out in the open, so many hearts we've broken because the simple ignorance continues to be spoken. Remember how they raped us? No matter how they paint us, with love on our side, they could barely stand against us. Still they force us to the ground, claimed that we were savages, tore us from our traditions, desecrated our languages. How is it we can regain power and prominence when my people are separated and scattered across the continents while they reap the benefits of people's free labor? Claiming no responsibility generations later. We built many a nation, almost from their birth. It's no coincidence that they're the strongest countries on the earth, begging for some peace. Our spirits in the East served and protected and seen as guilty by police. These days it seems it doesn't even matter what we say, being forced into new struggles every living day. Search for truth and you will find it. Some have to be reminded of the struggle we continue to go through, no longer blinded by what we need to communicate. We are not alone, we're all trapped in a diaspora but searching for a home.
This program is intended for an adult audience and deals with mature humor and contains material including language, violence, and nudity that may be offensive to some viewers. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Classic R&B Jams Radio, commercial free 24/7.
Alrighty there, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good evening, good night, and good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of The Chop Shop. I am, let me turn down my background music just a little bit. I am your nighttime, bright time DJ, StevieMuziq. And you see the title, The Chop Shop Reviews, Just Burley and Nick Fuentes. A couple weeks ago, I don't know how this escaped me for so long, but a couple weeks ago, Just Burley had known white supremacist, known alt-right, known Holocaust denier on her show. Normally, I wouldn't pay attention to it, but it's been brought to my attention, ladies and gentlemen, there is some loose niggas out here that's defending this shit. First of all, Just Burley, I watched the interview its entirety to make sure I knew exactly what I was going to talk about. And I only took about 30 minutes of the clip of the 3 hour and some change. But I don't know what kind of interview y'all call that. But I expected that from her. Don't follow her. The only time I know about Just Burley is when she is in the black YouTube streets, usually over there in the manosphere with her thighs showing, hoping that she gets a couple of super chats, convincing these ignorant manosphere folks that they, black women, are the problem, that they are not the problem in the black community. So, I was wondering what was all the hoopla about. So I went and I listened to the video, and the first thing I heard about it, a big shout out to one of my Facebook friends and one of my YouTube friends and a couple of the folks that sent it to me. You know who you are. They told me that Just Burley said that slavery wasn't that bad. She compared slavery to, they just had all kinds of fun and they got along with the masters and all kinds of shit. So I had to go check this interview out for myself. Lo and behold, she sure enough said it. So first, I had to ask myself, what is this about? Is she doing this for clout, or is it that like I always say, you follow someone, you watch someone long enough, sooner or later, within 30 days, they will reveal themselves to you. They will show exactly who they are. Now, like I said, I don't follow the lady. All I hear is, how she's tricked the manosphere into believing that she's the next great white hoe. They couldn't live with Jessica X much more, because sooner or later somebody was going to expose her. So now they got the white version of the Godfather, the Kevin Samuels, telling them it's all right to be a derelict. Shout out Saru and Gray. That word will live in infamy in the YouTube streets. But anyway, folks, before we get to that clip, I want to show you folks who Just Burley associated herself with. I want to show you the kind of person that Nick Fuentes is. And I don't understand how any person of color in their right mind would support Just Burley after this. What I don't see is why and how was it able to sit on YouTube for as long as it has been, and no one has labeled this as hate speech. No one has labeled this as offensive. Nobody. But there is a dumbass loose nigga defense brigade out there, and I forgot the brother's name. I think it's Super Sly 75. I'm gonna use one of his clips. Big shout out to you to show you some of them loose niggas that's out there defending this white anarchist, white supremacist bullshit. Because I'm gonna call it what it is. Now, YouTube can try and block me all they want to. They can say my video ain't this, but I'm gonna post this on my website. I'm gonna post it on my radio show. You can't get me there. Y'all allowed this shit to sit on YouTube for at least 3 weeks. 3 weeks from what I've seen. Didn't take it down. So I wish you would try and subjugate. I wish you would. Wish a nigga would try and shut me down right now. Come on. let's first of all, y'all heard that opening salvo, so you already know I was gonna come with the heat. I'm gonna come with the facts. I'm gonna show you just how incorrect Nick Fuentes and Just Pearly things are. Alright? So first of all, let me show you some of the people that Just Pearly and Nick Fuentes. I'm gonna start with the higher ups first, okay? Alright, check this out. Here is, well, you'll see for yourself. Check this.
But I want to say it very clearly and very directly. I believe this election was stolen from Donald J. Trump.
I will never, ever apologize for objecting to an unconstitutional election in November of 2020.
President Trump was right. The Clintons spied on him.
They were trying to censor us, silence us, cancel us, muzzle us. In fact, they had just told me that because I stood up and objected on January 6th, that I ought to be run out of the United States Senate. I've got news for you. I wasn't backing down then. I haven't changed my mind now.
Such a tough guy, that Josh Hawley. Those are the Republican stars of this weekend event known as CPAC, firmly planted in an entirely alternate universe of the big lie cult. And while the MAGA rally atmosphere has become the mainstream for the Republican Party, it's all essentially interchangeable. The real vanguard of the conservative movement was at a competing adjacent event. This one organized by an avowed white supremacist called the America First Political Action Conference. You could call it a fringe gathering, except for the fact that two sitting members of Congress were a part of it. Republicans Paul Gosar of Arizona and Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia. Now listen to what Nick Fuentes, the anti-Semitic white nationalist leader of the conference, said just before introducing his special guest, Congresswoman Greene.
And you want to know the secret? To borrow a phrase from a friend of mine, our secret sauce here, it's these young white men. That's what we call the secret ingredient. America and the world has forgotten about them, but not us. You know, they say about America, they say, diversity is our strength, you know. And I look at China and I look at Russia. Who can we give a round of applause for Russia? Yes. Absolutely, absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, that's the podium that Marjorie Taylor Greene then appeared at. And today she started feeling the heat. She tried to pretend she had no idea who the white supremacist guy was or what he stood for. But you can see from her speech, right after his, that she knew exactly where she was.
You know what it's like to be canceled. And that's why I'm here to talk to you tonight. I don't believe anyone should be canceled. I don't believe in separating people in identities. I don't believe in separating people in classes. But that's what the Democrats believe in, because that's what Marxism is. That's what communism is.
And members of the conservative movement are now, well, they have been for a while, but at this place explicitly normalizing white supremacy. They're in a venue with the leader expressing explicit solidarity with Vladimir Putin as he launches an offense that has shocked the world's conscience. At the same time, and this is a sort of weird aspect of the ideological moment, many Republicans, conservatives are saying, well, this is all Joe Biden's fault. It wouldn't have happened on Donald Trump's watch. And here's the thing. They're probably right. That's next.
Those are some of the folks that the guest of Just Pearly pals around with. And if you know who Marjorie Taylor Greene is, and if you know who Paul Gosar are, they are sitting members of Congress right now. That it's in line with the secret sauce that this Nick Fuentes. Let me ask you this, folks. See, some things are unassuming. Let me ask you this. Say if you were in the DMV, or say if you were at the airport and you was to call a passenger Nick Fuentes, would you expect that guy to show up? Just by his name, what would you be expecting? I would, no disrespect, but I would be looking for a man of Hispanic descent. But you'll see why a little bit later on, to why it's only as someone like as dumb as the angry man would say, Beano Nation, black in name only. Well, you will see why it's Beano Nation really, and that's Hino Nation, Hispanic in name only. They have completely disavowed their heritage by basis of their skin color. But that's just a sample of some of the folks and some of the things that Just Pearly could have looked at or could have said, you know what, I don't think this is a good idea. This is not a good look for me, especially when the majority of my audience and the people that work for me are black. This ain't a good look. If I'm trying to preach equality, this is not a guest that I should have on my show. I don't need that kind of clout. I don't need that kind of recognition, because I'm sure there are going to be some black folks on YouTube that are going to rip this apart. And you damn right. You goddamn right. You done picked the wrong black man to see this shit. I'm what you fear the most, an educated black man. I don't need no encyclopedias. I got my shit right here. All I got to do is think about it, and I can go pull up a clip on it to show you just how fucking wrong you were about this guy that you have to think, well, is he a white supremacist? Is he against the alphabet community? Is he against women's rights? You didn't do none of this. You couldn't have looked at one of those three things and said, you know what? This is not a good look. Are you for women, whether they white or black? That was a valid reason not to have them on the show. Are you for the gay community? That's a valid reason not to have them on the show. Are you for the black, white, brown community? That's another good valid reason not to have that motherfucker on your show. And they thought you was not going to receive no pushback? Bitch, are you crazy? Anyway, check this next clip out, folks. Here we go.
I don't support women's rights. I don't support LGBT rights. I believe in race and gender essentialism. I'm Catholic. I'm a Catholic reactionary. I believe that organized Jewry is extremely influential in the United States and pushes America towards an open society, liberalism, internationalism for their own benefit.
That's it, right? All the tropes right there. Organized Jewry, pulling the puppet strings of American liberalism and tolerance for their own benefit. Down the line stuff. That, and again, I'm playing you two clips. We could sit here for an hour, okay? That's the kind of guy Trump met with. Because part of his base likes that stuff.
And that's the big thing right there, folks. See that guy that we're looking at right there? He represents the base. He represents exactly what Chris Hayes was just saying. Trump just enabled these guys to come out the woodwork. Think about this. If Obama would have had a devout Muslim in the White House, remember how much hell he caught for his spiritual advisor? Trump met with this guy as a sitting president. Come on, man. Listen to some more of Just Pearly's guests. And this is who you guys in the manosphere, the O'Shea Duke Jacksons and a few more, we're going to get to you stupid niggas, try to defend.
So have you been in a relationship with a woman?
No.
So how are you telling other people how to behave towards women when you yourself have not had any actual physical, interaction with them in a romantic capacity, or in fact in any capacity? If you are looking to some other regimes around the world that do think that women are half the value of a man, I have to question what kind of a person who's had no experience with women is in a position to basically promote these ideas.
Well, I'm having an experience with a woman right now, and I've had lots of experiences with women in my life, not romantically per se, but I've talked to enough women. I've been in, I've known enough women to know sort of what's going on.
How many times did we tell you? These are all like these incel clowns, these right-wing, anti-Semitic, racist clowns. They can't get laid. That's the #1 source of their frustration. And when I say that, they're gonna be even more mad. But guys, you're not like, you think you're so special and you have some special problem. No, we all couldn't get laid when we were younger. But we didn't go weirdo and be like, oh yeah, then I hate black people. What?
Women shouldn't have rights.
Right?
No, that's not the solution to your problem. And you're not helping yourself, by the way.
Yes, that's not gonna help at all. Okay, it's not. But my favorite part was like, have you ever been in a relationship with a woman? No.
Well, I'm not just some guy that just has some wagey job. I'm not. I'm more creative. And no, there's anything wrong with having a wagey job, but I'm a creative person. I'm a leader. I have an important role in this. I have lots of responsibilities. I don't have the same priorities. I don't have the same life as somebody that isn't doing this. I couldn't be doing this if I was like that. So anyway, so yeah, so I appreciate it. It's true, but I don't need to rationalize it or anything. It's like, look, it's, oh, you haven't had sex. It's like, well, I haven't chosen to do that yet. I'm choosing instead to be an historical figure. I'm choosing instead to lead an historical right-wing movement. So it's a cope. But anyway, I'm an incel. I am a proud incel. And when I'm good and ready, I'll get married. I'll still be an incel, though.
How does that work? That you're going to get married, but you're still going to be an incel. I hope you let your prospective non-existent wife know that, in case you. And by the way, if you don't know what incel means, it means involuntarily celibate, which is a condition that all of us were in at one point. And so, but now they've taken it obviously in a supernova toxic direction. But I believe when you say you've chosen to be an incel, that is an oxymoron. No, it's involuntarily celibate. And so, and who are you kidding? I mean, let's get to the beef here, right? He's like, I don't have to rationalize this. I chose not to have sex. Sure you did. Sure you did.
The First Amendment was not written for Muslims, by the way. It wasn't written for a barbaric ideology that wanted to come over and kill us. It was written for Calvinists. It was written for Lutherans and Catholics, not for Salafists, not for Wahhabists, not for the Saudi royal family. Don't think the founders had that one in mind. And it also was intended for citizens, not for immigrants. If the First Amendment protected everyone's right to have their religion and express it in every country, we'd have our police in the Congo or in Uganda fighting against the Lord's Resistance Army.
I love the smugness while saying the most horrific and incorrect things. I'm pretty sure the Constitution says you shall not establish a religion, that the state is not allowed to do that. So that would mean that it is not just for Calvinists. It would mean that it is for all religions and no religions. In fact, the founding fathers that he so smugly and incorrectly quotes said this is in no way a Christian nation. They even said in the Treaty of Tripoli that Mohammedan, as they called them back then, are just as welcome here as any religion. So your facts, unsurprisingly, are completely wrong. But I wouldn't bother doing that story. A lot of right-wing idiots are completely wrong about that because they want a theology. They're the American Taliban. If they could, they'd rip our Constitution apart and put in their own fundamentalist beliefs, kind of like Sharia law.
Need I say more about this guy? Well, yeah, I can go a little bit further about it. But again, that's a whole show. But this is the guy that Just Pearly had on this show, on her show. And when we get to the video, folks, one thing I'm going to point out. Notice she said he's an incel. Well, you know, I think that's part of the problem. They probably couldn't say it because they're on nationwide TV or whatever, and they're a little bit censored. But I think that's a part of the problem with a lot of these guys. The lack of nookie, NPD, no pussy dude. They can't get it. They don't know how to get it. And sooner or later, they give up on trying to get it. So they're mad at women. Honestly, what woman in their right mind, after listening to 15 minutes of him, not less, is a woman with like-minded thoughts like him, would have consideration to lay down with him, that would want to bring children into the world with a motherfucker that thought like that? Women have no rights. Think about that. Could you imagine as a woman being married to that? So this is just a background that it didn't take me long to find, folks. I already heard of this guy a long time ago. I already done pieces on him. So when I saw that Just Pearly had him on the show, and then she made those slavery comments, I had to set the record straight. Y'all can act like Just Pearly is your friend all you want to. You think that it's the Trojan horse kind of thing. She came bearing gifts. But actually she's there to exploit y'all. Y'all made her popular. Now it's time to move on. And what a better way to move on to the people that she really want to be around than having a right-wing, white supremacist, neo-Nazi, Holocaust denier saying that black people are not smart. All the things that you would stay away from, folks, if you were, as they say, a Christian. This is a woman that you're going to hear later on that says that she's dated outside of her race. Let's without further ado, let me see what else I got here. Let me see what else I got. Yep. Here we go. Let's get to it.
One of the lamest suffering succotash dudes on the online. Mind you, this young man was so I don't know. Hey, this is the young man that has one nut. He has one testicle. Why does he have one testicle? Because he got a diagnosis early that he may have had testicular cancer. So this young man, instead of going to get a second or a third opinion, he goes with the first opinion and gets his testicle removed. These are your leaders. These are your leaders. These are your thinkers, your thought police, right? These are the guys that move the needle, that move the culture forward and direct whatever talking points need to be directed at to whom. Okay? Oh no, the uniballer. I'm done. I can't with y'all tonight. Once again, everybody get strapped in. Yes, he calls himself mediocre. I would never call myself mediocre. I would rather lie to myself and say I'm supercalifragilisticexpialidocious than call myself mediocre. But let's continue. Let's continue. Now, this is the first hanging victim tonight. Let me see. How many do we have in here? How many we have?
Yep, I figure I'd like Super Slides 75. Start off with the loose nigga roundup
of the black manosphere boule, because these guys pick and choose when they want to be manosphere. One week they're manosphere, the next week they're not manosphere. 1 week they don't want to be associated man, the next week they're back and y'all. And then yeah. Okay, let's continue. This is our first hanging victim tonight. The first black boule, the black manosphere boule member we're gonna hang tonight with his own words. is mediocre tutorial reviews. I'm going to let him tell it because he can tell it way better than I can. Y'all ready? Here we go.
America's got 300 million. So, you know, what is that? 1/6 of the population in 10 years.
And so why is that?
Why does he support that?
No, why are you against pro? Because in my head, see, I hire people from Africa, right?
Right.
Shout out Blessing.
She does. She hires editors, producers. She does.
Yeah.
And I just...
Oh, and Blessings is her producer. Yeah, we call him top producer. If you guys look at the reactions on his channel, we often be like, yo, top producer. Blessing. Shout out to Blessing. Super goddamn talented. I need a blessing where I live. I need a blessing where I live.
Some of y'all just should not have been allowed online or should have never been given a camera and a microphone. Some of y'all opinions just don't need to be heard. If it were me, this would be Fahrenheit 451, and I'd be one of the firefighters that would kick in your door to set you ablaze because you were caught reading. I would happily be one of the firefighters.
And brother, man, so far from what I've heard, I would be right there with you. No, don't put that nigga out. Let him burn. Hell no, let him burn. He knew better. He saw the same thing you and I saw. But still, did she say, I hire Africans? So, you're right, my man. I would kick in the fucking doors. Don't try and run out. Soon as he did, trip that nigga up. Let him burn up. I always say this. Do y'all know the damage that one ignorant Negro can do? We about to find out.
Oh my God. They sent Super Sly out. He's the #1 ace firefighter. Everybody run for the hills. I would be so that guy. Oh, you were reading? Turn me up to 1200 degrees Celsius so I can flambe this one. Okay, let's continue. These are his words now.
So you roast that nigga.
Super talented.
See, like, the work ethic of people that are, like, not from America, and they often work harder than the people that are from America.
That's true.
So in my head, it's like, wouldn't it help us?
Wait, so we're back on this again? Africans work harder than Black Americans? We're on this? We're back on this again. So we're back on this. Let's go.
Economically, if we had more, like, if they had...
Y'all pay attention to MTR. We're not talking about, we're past just Pearly. We're going to focus on the Black Boule and how they flipped this whole thing against black men like it's regular black men's fault that Just Pearly is where she's at. That's not how marketing works. That's not how social media works. That's not how social engineering works. Regular people have no say so in who gets chosen or picked, right? They tell us who we should rock with. They put them in front of your faces and say, they got next. But once again, let's let MTR hang himself with his own words tonight.
A certain, like, mindset in order.
Well, yeah, that's true. People not from America, immigrants, work harder than people that are from America.
Since when? Since when? Since when? Since when? Since.
Yeah, I'd like to know that too. Since when? For all you loose niggas that say that, when's the last time y'all had a job in Africa? When's the last time you worked side by side with an African that you outpaced him? Let me tell you something. For no disrespect to the folks that come over and immigrate to this country and work hard to become successful. Hey, by all means, that's what you come here for. But in all respect, I don't hear too many black Americans say, I'm immigrating to Africa. Now, we might hear a few of us say, I'm going over there for a visit, I'm going to go do this, but I don't hear the reverse too many times. And that's that's not being disrespectful, that's being factual. So, nigga with that turned around hat, when's the last time you've been to Africa to compare how hard Africans work versus black Americans? When? What are you basing that on? Her? And her thoughts? You can't be basing it on reality. But let's go.
Since when? But come on, let's let this man tell tell us something we didn't know. He gonna learn us tonight, y'all. He gonna learn us tonight.
That's true. We talk about the entitlement culture within goddamn America all day.
Y'all hearing this, right? Y'all hearing this? But y'all hearing this. Let's continue. Let's continue.
Is that the goddamn point? That's true. That's true. We talk about the entitlement within culture today. We talk about the modern women lazy bullshit. We talk about the men being lazy as fuck and being losers. We talk about that shit all day. And then the immigrants come in and take your fucking jobs. We talk about that all day.
I'm sorry. Are these the same immigrants that get government subsidies? They get SSI checks. They get food stamps, right? They get government stipends. Now HBCUs want to give them free room and board to go to universities. How do you go to a university and you're not even from the country? How? Let's let him tell it. Come on.
I talk about all day, stop being a loser. I talk about all day, as a man, increase your utility. That's true.
This man said it's true. I didn't know this was true. Y'all, I didn't know this.
That's true.
Yeah, okay.
What's up?
What's up?
Hold up now, y'all got me. That's true. Hold up, let me just make sure I heard that correctly. Maybe I heard that incorrectly. Hold on.
America, and they often work harder than the people.
Hold up, I'm seeing people in the chat talk about that's not true. Americans grind just as hard. No, they don't. You don't know what grind is.
See.
But he does. Okay.
See, as soon as you get a little bit of pushback, you know what they say? No, they don't. You know, just like shooting your own self in the foot. Bow. I'm an American, and I'm admitting as an American that an immigrant that comes from another country, in this case Africa, because Just Pearly said it, works harder than me or anybody like me. Let that make sense. Let it make sense, Super Sly. You know, again, are there government subsidies and subsidized for immigrants? Of course, that's a given. Those are facts. This man is speaking facts. You can go look those up for yourself. Are HBCUs giving them free room and board in some instances? Yes, of course they are. But the average black American man or woman cannot go to those same HBUs and get those credits. No, they can't. We heard about the shakeup of the HBCUs from Deion Sanders and the other football player, and how some folks was feeling that, you know, but that's a whole nother story. Let's go.
Immigrants that come here without a pot to fucking piss in. Without a pot to fucking piss in.
Are there not immigrants in some 4-star hotels right now in New York City? So are there immigrants, illegal immigrants right now living in 4-star hotels in downtown Manhattan, and they're so entitled they don't even want the food the hotel provides for them. They don't even eat the food the hotel provides for them. You're talking about a 4-star hotel menu that they're refusing to eat. How do you, as an illegal immigrant, end up in downtown Manhattan at a 4-star restaurant on taxpayers' dime?
Meanwhile, you take just a block walk to the left, a block walk to the right. Same thing in San Francisco. There's immigrants right now, for some reason or the other, staying in 4-star hotels, 5-star hotels on our dime. But you walk outside of those, and there's homeless people everywhere. Black, white, brown, whatever. How about putting some of those people in those hotels? So what are you talking about? What are you saying? In every major city in the world, in this country right now, I can guarantee you there are immigrants that are living much better than veterans that defended this country. Homeless veterans that defended their life, that defended your livelihood, are living worse, in worse conditions than a lot of these immigrants that just got here yesterday. So stop it.
They'll show you how to work, and they'll work you up under the table more often than not. As Americans, we love excess without doing the work. We love excess without doing the work. We love excess without doing the work. We love the material without doing the work. These immigrants, though, that have seen poverty that their country cannot escape, there's not opportunities, there's not jobs for them. When they come over here and they see the white picket fences and say, oh, the American dream, that's absolutely true.
Lord have mercy. This is y'all man's, right? I remember when O'Shea brought this guy in. We're going to get to O'Shea in a minute, don't you worry. I'm saving him for last. But O'Shea brought this goofball in. Y'all would do anything to take the heat off this white woman because another black man pointed out what she said was factually incorrect and disrespectful, right? Y'all will do anything to take the heat off this white European woman and deflect it back on your own people. This is disgusting. All you niggas I'm about to show tonight, y'all all disgust me. Let's continue.
Immigrants, more often than not, will work harder than those that grow up within this, that don't have an understanding of what it is outside of this. That's absolutely true. Shout out to T with a $20 super chat.
Now, I've had the personal experience of working with a bunch of immigrants. I adamantly, vehemently refute that.
And I can tell you the same damn thing. I've worked in several places with Latinos, Ethiopians, Slovenians, all kinds of different people. They don't work. I've never seen any one of them outwork me. Matter of fact, I trained them, a lot of them, to do their jobs. How can you outwork someone that's training you? That's showing you the ropes. How is that possible? I appreciate that super slide. Folks, y'all make sure y'all get over and support my man's channel over there. Appreciate the clip borrowed from you there, folks. If you want to hear the rest of that in its entirety, I'll make sure I drop the link down to my man's channel and you can go and check him out over there. But let's get to what he was reviewing, folks. Let's get to the meat of this show here. All right, we're about 45 minutes into it already, 43 minutes or so. Now, you heard who Nick Fuentes was. You heard some of the loose niggas that try to defend this guy. Now, let's hear from the horse's mouth of the uproar of what's going on over there, of why I think this particular video should have been taken down from the YouTube streets, because it is filled with inconsistencies, incorrectness, anti-Semitic, black, all kinds of any damn thing that you could think of that disrespect another nationality. It happened in that 3 hours and 28 minute sit down that they had. All at the behest of I'm joking. But see, the thing about it is, what you don't realize when you're comfortable on both sides of the fences, folks, you know exactly that these two are two like-minded people. And it took him, if she was one of those folks that was unradicalized, it took Nick Fuentes less than an hour and a half to radicalize her. And you'll see, if you watch this clip in its entirety and go back and watch the entire clip, you will see exactly what I mean. From this time it started, her views slowly but surely started changing to where within an hour and a half, she finally came out and was comfortable enough to say exactly what she felt about black folks. She joked around about it a few times, but then she got damn serious with some misquotes from Alex Haley. with some misquotes talking about one of the founding fathers had slaves, but he didn't make no money from it. I think she was trying to refer to Thomas Jefferson. But anyway, without further ado, folks, I'm gonna play it. And if I need to stop it, y'all know what I'm gonna do. So let's get to it.
Violence against women. And it's the same thing where, like, this just sounds really similar. I don't know if I'm making sense. But it's like the same system where if you attack the argument in any way, they'll say you hate women. And so it's the same thing where you say, oh, if they attack the Jewish people at all, they'll say you hate Jewish. But the difference is that Jewish people have more power. And they can. It seems like they can make your life hell.
That's exactly right.
But it sounds like the same system that the environmental people use, where you don't care about the environment, and then they'll use some horrible thing that's going to happen. Like they would use the Holocaust, but the environmental people will say global warming. The women people will say, I don't know, grape, whatever it is. But yeah, that sounds really similar.
Yeah, and that's really because the thing is, like, when people call me a Holocaust denier, they make it out like that's my job. Like, hi, like I go to weddings and parties, like, hey, I'm here to like deny the Holocaust or something. Like, I don't even know anything really.
But you don't deny it.
No, not really. No.
I mean, you agree that it happened. You just think it wasn't just Jewish people.
I just think they're like. I don't believe in the 6 million number. I don't believe in the gas chambers thing. I don't think that happened.
You don't believe in the gas chambers?
No, that's fake.
What? Okay.
That's totally fake.
Okay.
That just sounds like ridiculous. Because think about it this way. You have like a war going on. This is Hollywood stuff. So the idea is they created a chamber that looked like a shower, and then when they got in, they locked the doors. Surprise, we tricked you. Actually, that just to me just sounds like Hollywood, and there's no evidence that existed. Like, because you go to the remaining death camps, 2 of them I believe were like destroyed, and then 2 of them remain, and they don't even have anything that resembles that. The stuff that they say that they used as a gas chamber, they used Zyklon B. Zyklon B gas was a delousing agent. They would bring in the clothes, and the disease was rampant at that time. It's a prison, it's like all these.
That one statement right there, folks, should have been enough to have this video shut down. The mere fact that he said that was a delousing agent, that there was no physical proof that these death camps, well, some of you folks there's still some folks that's still around, some great grandfathers that actually was part of those people that freed and released some of these Jewish people from these death camps. First-hand accounts from Stars and Stripes of pictures that they took when they first opened the gates of Auschwitz, when they took over, when the Americans finally made their way into Nazi-fortified Germany, and all the different death camps that they encountered, where bodies were strewn in just open graves by the hundreds. People were rail thin, damn near starved to death. Actual footage. But you had this guy on your show, Just Perfect, and this is the same guy, O'Shea, Dukes Jackson, and folks like you that defended, all in the sake of trying to be in good graces with this white woman. Because I hope there's no way in the world that any of you folks that say Nick Fuentes is a good guy for you to have on your show, not unless you're trying to bring him on to say, what the hell are you talking about? Black folks are what? If any person of color tries to defend this, you out your damn mind. Turn in your black card, because you're done. You've given up on life. YouTube on how many streams that I've said it in the chat rooms or been a part of on the streams, this live stream itself, that folks won't use certain words. They will use the R word. They'll say grape instead. They won't use Jewish or they won't use gay. They'll say alphabet people simply because they feel YouTube will censor or shut down their channel. But here we have a clear violation of YouTube community standards, and at least for 3 weeks it's been up and circulating. At least 3 weeks. But this is the God, Just Pearly Things, you chose to have on your show to say slavery wasn't that bad.
People are stuck together and there was a war going on. People get typhus and they get sick, so they would delouse the clothes. And so they put clothes there and they'd use Zyklon B as a chemical agent to clean the clothes. And then decades later, they said it was a gas chamber to industrially kill people. I just think that's a load.
Why would they make this stuff up?
So to make it more compelling. That's why they make movies about it. That's why they write these traumatic fictional accounts of it.
But don't they have people that were actually there that could speak on it? Do they not talk about it?
No. They because all the people that...
Oh, come on. There are Holocaust survivors.
They didn't survive the gas chamber. They just talk about people. They talk about things they saw when they were like little kids.
Did you hear that? He said they didn't survive the gas chamber. They just talk. Of course, those who didn't survive the gas chamber couldn't talk. I think I'm getting a little feedback there, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Let me move that. Of course, they couldn't talk. They didn't survive. But this is the same guy that believed in the Titanic. Remember that? Remember that movie? People can survive from the Titanic, but there shouldn't be any survivors or any person any eyewitness that could give you any eyewitness account of what they went through during that time of 1945, 1941, 1942, 43, 44, however long the Nazis rounded up Jewish people just because. Tragedy. It absolutely was, folks. It's an unspeakable time in history that should not be forgotten. And there's a small part of Nick Fuentes that I agree with. It's not the only tragedy. People don't get shut down for speaking about slavery. People don't get shut down for using the N-word. People don't get shut down because they oppose an opinion of a black person or they offended a Jewish person. But they will if you mess with the wrong powers that be, so to speak. Let Nick Fuentes tell it. And to a certain point, he's got a point. You can't deny that. Even the sunshine on the dog ass, if he hold it up high enough. Know what I mean? Let's go.
And, they didn't even understand what was going on. Mm-hmm. So, and there's also this thing where if you look at
I don't think any adults made it out. None.
All the survivors we hear today, no, that's one. And two, I think that with a lot of them, they embellish the story. Because if you look, there was a survey that was done in Israel of Holocaust survivors, and there was like an absurd number of them that said that they were operated on by Joseph Mengele, the Nazi scientist. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, did like millions of people get operated on by this guy, or did they just like come up with that?
I don't know about the millions, but there's documented cases of thousands of Jewish men and women that Joseph Mengele performed horrid medical experiments on. Not only Mengele, but a few other German doctors. This is documented cases, folks. Documented cases. But guess what? Guess where they learned those torture techniques? They learned it from the Americans. Documented cases of German soldiers writing in their diaries of how they learned to be so horrific at torturing people. Documented cases, written cases in the Smithsonian Library and all kinds of World War II memorabilia libraries. All kinds. Documented cases. Handwritten. But this guy right here said the Holocaust was embellished. But this is who she had on her show. O'Shea, Dukes Jackson. This is who you're trying to defend.
Is that just something that happened in their imagination? And I think that with a lot of it, that's what's going on. Because there is no like hard evidence that there were gas chambers.
Why would they make that up?
Like I said, that's why they make boy in the striped pajamas.
Because it's the Jewish people in the media.
It's about creating this narrative that the Jewish trauma is the worst trauma that anyone's ever had.
The same way they do that with Roots, because Roots, the founder of Roots said, or the guy who made Roots said in quotes, "I wanted to make a myth for my people to live by." That was the quote.
No, the actual quote was, "I want to make a living history so my people to live by." In the remembrance, if I could also trace my family roots, you too should. At nowhere in Roots or any quotes from Alex Haley, the author of Roots, an autobiography, by the way, just Pearly, does that quote appear. And believe me, I did extensive research to find something that even came remotely close to that. But here it is again. Another reason for this particular stream to have been shut down. Continually denying the Holocaust. Then saying that slavery, that Alex Haley wrote a book about his forefathers being captured and enslaved in this country, was embellished. I told you, it didn't take him very long for her true personality, for him to bring her true identity out. It didn't take very long, because she's comfortable with it. Continue to look at her dress. Continue to look at how many times she flashes this incel some thigh to get him riled up. His testosterone is getting the best of him, and the more thigh she shows him, the more radical this no pussy white boy gets.
That he used. So, like, that kind of sounds similar. It's like the system. It's the same system.
Well, and here's what the Jews say. This is what they say about the Holocaust. They say, and they will literally, like, for example, in the Ukraine war, Zelensky said, this is like the Holocaust. And the state of Israel came out and said, that's anti-Semitic. You cannot compare it to the Holocaust. Because it's part of their belief that the Holocaust is literally the worst thing that ever happened. Mm-hmm. Why? They say because it was an industrial extermination of the Jewish people. And so is that specifically industrial horror aspect of it, the idea that they were using modern technology, a gas chamber, this deception, this trick, mm-hmm. And the Nazi scientists and all this. So it's all of that is part of creating this extremely compelling narrative that they were the victims of the worst thing ever. And who did it? The Nazis. Who did it? This guy that believed in white people. And so as a consequence, what can we never have? We can never be proud of our heritage as white people. We can never say things like America or Europe should be white places. We can never have a strong, charismatic leader. Like, all those things are no longer allowed because Hitler did the worst thing ever. Mm-hmm. And as a consequence, things like having a strong, charismatic leader are actually good for a country, and it's actually a good thing. Who does it benefit to have a system where there's no strong nationalistic leadership? It benefits people on the margins. It benefits immigrants, religious and ethnic minorities. It benefits those types of groups. Now, that's fine. Okay, I think that religious and ethnic minorities should be treated with tolerance and respect. Like, I'm not against that. But what has been created is something where anyone who is against an open, totally liberal international society is branded as Hitler. If you want to close the borders, you're Hitler.
Oh, that's so true. That's really true. Wow, because they really painted Trump as racist for wanting to close the border.
No one painted Trump as a racist. Again, Just Pearly, if you go back and do your history, you will see way back in the 1970s where Trump had his employees, anytime a black person came to his buildings to rent something, they put a C, meaning colored, on the application. After the black person or the colored person left, it went into file 13. If you don't know what file 13 is, that means the trash. He was actually sued in New York State and lost for racial discrimination, housing discrimination. He lost. It was proven that he was racially biased. He did not want black people living in his establishment. So no, they don't paint Trump as a racist. He painted himself as one. And the list goes on. From Charlottesville, remember, they had good people on both sides. And as they marched down in Charlottesville, Virginia, with Jews will not replace us. Jews will not replace us. This is the person that you had on your show, Just Pearly. This is the person, Manosphere, black idiots, that you are defending. This is the real Nick Fuentes that you folks are trying to lay cover for.
That's a basic. Why would you not want to close border? That's not even.
That's just like a no-brainer.
And the crazy thing is, hearing the liberals try to say it's like it's a wall. I just don't know why that would be controversial.
Yeah.
Is a wall more effective than no wall?
Right, yeah. Well, and they say they're for border security, but just no wall. Why? It's a physical structure to prevent people from entering.
At least a fence. Can we get a fence?
Yeah, right. Yeah, but that would be okay. And so, but that's what the Holocaust thing to me is really about. At the end of the day, I don't really care about the history of it. What matters is they have created, the history matters because they embellish it to the point of saying it's the worst thing ever, and therefore society can never be the same. Like, we have to, because think about it. World War II happens, and the old world is destroyed. When I talk about the old world, I mean the old Europe, the old America, this old idea of having kings and queens, this old...
What do you mean? Well, we're in a democracy. Here.
America was.
Yeah, so not here, but...
But in Europe, you still had these vestiges of royalty and autocratic leadership. Even like in Russia, they killed the Tsar, but they had a tyrannical leader. In Germany, they had a Kaiser, then they had Hitler. In France, France had been democratic for a long time. But so World War II, the empires, all the colonies become independent, the empires are over, the monarchies are over, the idea of having like a cohesive society is over, and over the last 70 years, it's liberalization, it's globalization, immigrants are brought in.
What do you mean when you say globalization?
Globalization meaning like, number one, you have all this international trade. Immigration is a big part of globalization. You have all these people, because this has been going on in Europe since the 50s and 60s.
Well, let me just speak on that. As far as the borders are concerned, every country needs to defend its borders. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And I think the United States of America as a whole does that. But there's such a thing called the UN, to where we're not only expected as a country because we're in trade with these other countries for goods and services that maybe that we lack or they lack or whatever. Just as there's all kinds of shit that you see that said made in China. There's all kinds of shit that you say made in Korea. There's all kinds of shit that you see made in Canada. That is what he is protesting against, folks. He is insisting that America should be a society within itself. And if you look throughout history, that kind of society does not survive very long. He's advocating for a king, which they wanted to put Donald Trump as the first king of the United States. But the history of the United States, its history was based on wanting to get away from monarchies and czars and rulers like Putin, like Tsar Nicholas, like so many other tyrannical leaders, Stalin, Lenin, the list goes on. We haven't hit the east side yet. But this is what Nick Fuentes is calling for in this country. Let's continue. And as you notice, Just Pearly is getting a little bit more comfortable with her dialogue with him. Now this has been going on. These clips that I have goes into like the second, almost a half hour, almost an hour and a half is gone, and the next clip is probably towards the end. I only took like 30 minutes of clip to prove my point. We might not even have to play the other half of this clip. So let's continue.
Actually. Oh, so you're saying that was the end of Europe being one way, and America being one. That was when more immigration happened, and the culture, we sort of lost the culture.
Yeah, because the lesson of World War II.
Wait, let me just say this. In the 1950s and 60s, there were zero laws for immigration for black people. Where was we going to immigrate to? So who did the immigration laws affect in the 1950s and 60s? White folks. 25-20s. Not black folks, because in the 50s and 60s and the 40s and so on back and all the way back to colonial times, there were zero laws on the books for black folks as far as immigration was concerned. Zero. So who were these laws created for? To stop the influx of? Because if you go back, just like you said, in 50s and 60s, it was the Italians, it was the Germans, it was the Yugoslavians, it was the Poland, well, not the Yugoslavia anymore, but it was those folks from those, as Trump said, where the good people come from, those northern countries, not the southern border that they're concerned about now. It's okay to let white folks come in, is what Nick Fuentes has said. But we don't want the undesirables down here on the southern border. Because in the 50s and 60s, that's the majority of the immigrants to this country. Look it up for yourself.
Based on the horrors of the Holocaust, is like, this is what happens when nationalism goes awry. This is what happens when nationalism goes
But your
too far.
argument was the Holocaust was not special and all countries have done that.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so you're saying, why is the Holocaust special?
Yeah, basically.
Oh. Okay, what do you mean, basically?
Well, yeah, I mean, because...
And that one aspect of Nick Fuentes talking is what I agree with. When it comes to tragedies, there's no one tragedy that's any special or any better or any worse than the other. The Holocaust was a tragedy. The mass shooting in Uvalde school, to where we now learned that these policemen were scared to go in this room simply because they knew there were long guns. The wiping out of the folks in Rwanda, where this guy that was jailed for 20-some years was just released a couple days ago. The systematic killing of Ukrainians right now that's going on. The death toll is uncounted yet in this war that's going on. How many Iraqians and how many people lost their life in the 20-year war versus the Americas that we just so-called got out of? So on that aspect I agree with Nick Fuentes. There's no mass murder, no Holocaust that should reign supreme over another. Because we all know the mass murder and killing in that transatlantic, from Africa, from the shores of Africa to the shores of America, is uncountable bodies. So much so that the sharks and the predators change their feeding routes to follow the ships. But they tell Black America, we shouldn't talk about that. That was a long time ago.
Of course, you know, we're getting into the details of it, but yeah, that's the gist.
Yeah, I mean, but you kind of deny it happened.
Yeah, I deny some of the parts of it.
You deny parts of it don't seem realistic to you. You think they're embellished upon.
I think they're embellished, yeah.
The same way. This sounds... Oh, gosh.
Oh, boy.
They're going to be in trouble. This sounds similar to the slavery stuff, too, because that's literally... the founder, or the guy who made Roots said, I wanted a myth for my people to live by. So they often... But that's what they do, is they embellish... And I'm not trying to say it wasn't horrible. It was.
Right.
But they want to make it, like, more horrible so that they can control people in a way. And that it sounds...
So, Just Pearly, let me ask you, which part of slavery was any less horrible? You must have took a page from out of the Angry Man book on that one that said antebellum slavery was okay versus regular slavery. The idea that you are in bondage, that you are not free to go anywhere, you are not free to read, write, you are not free to breathe, shit, piss, or whatever without the direction of possibly being whipped or killed. That your children could be sold at any minute. That your wife could come in a room and the slave master, because he looked at her the way she bent over in the field picking cotton, decided that's the booty that he wanted to screw tonight, comes in and snatch his wife or his daughter out of their sleeping quarters to have his way through and bring her back. Later on, she's impregnated by this bastard's semen. Which part of slavery was good? Which part of slavery that you're referring to, Just Pearly, wasn't bad? Which part of slavery did folks embellish on? The whippings? Oh, he didn't hit me 20 times, he only hit me 19. Oh no, nobody in my family was sold up the river. Oh no, nobody had their foot chopped off in Roots. Oh no, Chicken George was a myth. Oh no, Kizzy was not a real, one of the firstborn children of this man's family that after they were stolen. None of that's real. It was all made up for Hollywood. Just Pearly. And you got folks, black men, that their first taste of reality was when they saw Roots. That gave them a sense of themselves. That, you know what? If he can find where he came from, so can I. But that was a myth that he wanted to spread to his people. Is that what you're telling me, Just Pearly? You idiot bitch.
Sounds really similar, because even with the please leave me on YouTube. Please. But even with like the slavery stuff, like that's what they'll do, and they won't talk about instances of like slaves traveling across states. Like when they initially freed the slaves, there were some slaves that felt so indebted to their owners that they would travel across states to pay them back, and they actually had a really good relationship.
Yeah.
She said they had such a great relationship with Massa, they would actually travel across states to pay him back. Just Pearly, did you do any history? Did you graduate from school? Do you know what the vagrant laws are? That after black people were free, do you understand what Juneteenth is? That some years later, the folks west of the Mississippi didn't know that they were free? Do you understand that even as so early as in the 1940s and 50s, if a black man was caught in a certain area without reason to be there, he was summarily killed? Do you understand that a black man could not travel from state to state without some papers from his master saying he had reason to be there? Did you forget any of this? Did you read any of this? See how easy it is, folks, for someone to be radicalized? What the embellishment is, Just Pearly, that you're sitting here embellishment the lessness of slavery. You're trying to convince people that slavery somehow wasn't that bad, and that slaves actually went out of their way later on, after they were free, to go back and pay their masters. No, what those called was the vagrant laws. What they did, Just Pearly, is that black people, of course, they just turned them out like cattle. They had nowhere to go. So they invented some laws, the vagrant laws, to arrest black men and women in mass. And guess what they did? They invented the 13th Amendment that said any person, all people are free except for those who have committed a crime. So the vagrant laws and mass incarceration long before the 80s and the 90s came along, that's what that did. So those very same people that had nowhere to go, that was turned out from these farms, from these plantations, from these cotton picking institutions where cotton was king, they got their freedom only to be returned back into bondage because they were no longer free, because they were arrested on bullshit laws for standing around, for sleeping in the woods, for sleeping on a park bench, for standing in line trying to find employment. Those were the vagrant laws. Then let's reach into the 50s and the 60s where redlining and all these other things came to pass. But we are embellishing on it, not you. But folks, these are the folks that these loose niggas over in the manosphere like O'Shea, Dukes, Jackson is putting cover for. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Like Super Sly said, you ought to be ashamed of yourself to give this bitch cover. The stream should have been Just Pearly has a known white supremacist on her panel. That shit came from every one of you so-called upper echelon content creators. But instead, I see more streams about Just Pearly was right. And more loose nigga conversation about the ills of black woman. And y'all had 3 weeks to talk about this shit. Kevin Samuels came back in the GOAT and you niggas went crazy.
But they act like that wasn't possible, and it was still wrong. It wasn't a good institution. Right. But they don't talk about like the more nuanced things that happened in slavery. And like, I forgot what founding father, but they were talking about how he really like he inherited slaves, and he actually had a really good relationship with them. He didn't make any money off the farm, but it was like if he freed them, they would all what would they do?
Right.
And so he kind of looked at it as, I have to take care of them, and he wasn't even making money off of the farm.
Well, once again, I got to ask you, Just Pearly, do you do any fucking reading? Do you read? No wonder it's so easy to convince them loose niggas over there at the manosphere that you're smart, because it's obvious you think like them. You think you can say anything and it's okay. It won't be checked, because they're not gonna check behind you. They're hoping to see some thigh or some titty, like the Princella says. They're hoping to see some ass. They're hoping to see a glimpse of them them lily white thighs you got. So they don't hear a damn thing you say. But I heard it. I heard that bullshit that you just said. Now, the surname of Jefferson is occupied by a whole lot of people, black people in the United States. Thomas Jefferson, at his time, was probably one of the richest, wealthiest men in America. And that's basically how he became president, through his wealth. That's how he became a founding member of the Continental Congress, through his wealth, because of the numerous of slaves that he had. But he also, the reason why he had a good relationship with a lot of the slaves wasn't the male slaves that he had a good relationship with. It was the female slaves, because he impregnated the ass of them. He had a good relationship with those children that he was producing, or tried to. Hence the beginnings of the HBCUs. We like to believe that HBCUs were invented for black people. No, they were invented for the bastard children of said white aristocrats like Thomas Jefferson. Do your homework, dumb bitch. Thomas Jefferson didn't make no money. Shit. Damn near, you can go to damn near every state in America and open up the phone book, and there's somebody named Jefferson in that motherfucker. Guarantee you, when you knock on the door, shit, darkness is spreading in that motherfucker, because there's gonna be a black person on the other side of it. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. But then they say you're like, even now I'm like, oh gosh.
Well, that is something that happened. That was one of the big arguments against the abolition of slavery, is that a lot of them would just die.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know how to get along independently, and that did happen for generations.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's actually one of the reasons that why American blacks have a higher average IQ than African blacks on average, and they say that that's because a lot of them just straight up died.
Listen, folks, again, the reason why a lot of these so-called Africans died, because they died from starvation, because they had nothing. They didn't die because they just, if someone turns you out and you have no resources, you have nothing to eat, you have no food, you have no shelter, you end up living in the bush somewhere, or you end up summarily being killed by folks that don't want you to be free. That's why a lot of Africans didn't make it, because they were being summarily put to death by white folks. Because they was mad because white folks didn't want us to be free no more. They wanted to continue us to work for them, pick their cotton and their sugar and their tobacco. But down here in this Charleston, South Carolina, it came to the point to where black people outnumbered white people. So they had to do something about that. Do you have any idea of what you were talking about, Miss Lady? Do you have any fucking idea of what you're talking about?
After the Civil War.
Really?
Mm-hmm. because they couldn't get along.
Wow, I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So, and it is comparable to the Holocaust, and the important thing is, and it's like you said, they come at you with this narrative of whether it's feminism or racism. If you disagree, oh, well, you hate them, or you're a horrible person. It's like, I'm a Christian. I think I'm against murder. I'm against mass murder. I'm against war. Like, I've made jokes and things like that, but those are things that I find morally repugnant and wrong. It's just that I'm also a political person. I talk about political issues, and so sometimes it's contentious and it's controversial. But if you have the wrong opinion on something that's so foundational, then they're going to call you these things. And when you get banned from all the media, it's like, where am I? Where do I get my right of reply? Where do I get to go and give my rebuttal? So
on here, Ben, Charlie, I got a seat for you on the couch.
Yeah, there's the plug. Yeah, the Super Show. I do it. Yeah, and it's
Trump,
a shame.
Kanye.
Yeah,
Trump, let's get this ironed out.
Let's solve it here.
Everything. Look, I'm a great moderator.
Yes, yeah, pretty good, pretty fair. Although, Destiny's going to be pissed.
He'll be pissed?
Yeah.
Why?
He's going to be like, I should have been there to push back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, we can, Destiny. Come on.
He doesn't want to collab with me anymore.
He doesn't want to collab with you?
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah. we had a
if he changes, I mean, sometimes people change their mind. If you change your mind, the couch is available.
We were best friends. We were like this.
Oh, you were like this?
We were like this.
Is he going to do that to me now?
I don't know.
Am I going to be off of Destiny's friend? He's always defended me on live.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a little
bit of a simp, so.
Yeah. Okay, so back to so that's your beliefs on the Holocaust and all that. You were fighting with the conservatives at 18.
Yeah.
Now, why were you storming the Capitol? What? I heard that was not a good way to go.
Yeah.
I heard that wasn't a great move. But,
in retrospect.
In
retrospect.
And that's how you got on the no-fly list and shit?
Yeah.
Are you on if I Google storming the Capitol, are you going to come up?
I don't know.
I'm just curious. Storming the Capitol.
Probably not.
I just was curious if I could see you with like a flag or something.
Well, folks, to answer that question, yes. He does have a mugshot. There is a picture of Nick Fuentes, although he did not go into the Capitol himself. There is a definite pixelated, high-quality picture of this dude at the Capitol trying to overturn a free and fair election. But this is the guy that you had on your show, Just Pearly. This is the guy that you guys in the manosphere are defending. This is the guy that goes around expounding hate speech on any platform that he can. This is the guy that goes around said there was no such thing as a Holocaust. This is the guy that said that he was okay with the Jim Crow laws. This is the guy. Known footage all over YouTube, all over social media, but yet you invite him and like-minded folks like him back to your show. And this is a call to YouTube. Now, I guarantee you, if that was me saying that the Holocaust or someone else, because let's think about this. You guys shut down Kyrie Irving because he tweeted a link to a movie. But for 3 weeks, this is sit on YouTube, circulating unabated. Y'all were willing to take away Kyrie Irving's living, his financial stability, all over a tweet to a movie that he did not produce, write, or sell. But this, a YouTube creator that at the snap of a finger can be shut down. Ask Bomb Cherry. I think the other night, her stream got shut down because somebody said the wrong thing. Now, like I said, I do have another clip on these folks, but I don't feel like talking about them more. I gotta do another quick loose nigga roundup. So let me grab this clip right here, okay? Hold on just a second. Let me grab this clip right here before I'm gonna try and keep this under 2 hours. I don't feel like talking about just Pearly no more. I think I made my point. Okay, so let's do a quick loose nigga roundup. As always, somehow the angry man and a few of them folks over at the Fight Club always end up in the row when I'm doing these loose nigga roundups on YouTube. So without further ado, here they go.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Speaking out of place like a hoe.
You capping, nigga, you gonna be a cap. I'm gonna keep telling you capping, pussy.
Capping off what?
I was drunk, I didn't know where I was. Shut the fuck up with your stupid ass.
Capping off what?
But I do have questions. Now you flag. It's in the back, nigga. Pull up, nigga. All the X.
Goddamn.
Yo, the last time I seen dudes be this triggered, swear to God, was Cynthia G. I haven't seen nobody trigger dudes like this since Cynthia G. Why are y'all so triggered by this man? I really gotta understand this shit, man. Why? Somebody tell me.
Yo, bum ass nigga. And them bum ass bitches you fucking with. Them project chicks. You ain't shit, nigga. Need a dick, you pussy ass nigga. Let me tell you something. Mook ass niggas like you. Alright, you niggas is the problem. Y'all making black men look bad. Dumb ass nigga. You and them dumb ass bitches you fucking. Them hood project bitches. What the
I pull up.
Oh shit, we got House of Hypocrites up here?
Yeah.
Hey man, what was that shit that TLA had to say about you?
Oh Jesus.
He was trying to he was trying to manipulate some shit being a lawyer, and I'm telling you, nigga, this ain't court. So he had a lot of shit to say.
I don't know, G. That nigga sound convincing as a bitch.
Oh, he sure did.
I was ready to put a felony case on you myself when he was done. Like, hang that nigga now. I got the rope right here.
You could try to, but shit, it only come from information off the internet and shit that I said. And when I went on Pearl shit, I was drunk. Nigga, I was fucked off on her shit. Not even knowing that I went on that bitch. So it could be convincing.
You had an out of body experience. That nigga is capping right.
It could be. Hey, nigga, ain't what the fuck? I got a cap on a panel for you goofy ass niggas for.
Wait a minute.
Let's talk about that. You know what I'm saying? What I got a cap for, bro?
Because you sound stupid when you say dumb shit
who
like
talking?
that.
Who talking?
Nigga, me.
Nigga.
Yeah, me.
That's Uncle Thomas.
No, it ain't Uncle Thomas. This DJ Music.
You fat fuck. What you talking about?
You can't even see me. See, that's what they automatically roll to, their folks. They start to. This is, if you don't know, this House of Hypocrite. This is the dude that say he got 7 baby mamas, and he expected folks to believe the story that he was telling. So if you don't know, if you're a follower of TLA, what's that? The lead attorney, as he calls himself, go on over here and check out how he picked this loose nigga apart. Now, if you listen to this story at first value, you would think that he was trying to correlate the manosphere we're talking about loose women in the loose black women, single baby mamas in the black neighborhoods. But come to find out, so-called all these baby mamas is white. And ain't none of them showed up yet to, to say, hey, this nigga right about this. It's just all basically bullshit, clout chasing nigga, somebody, because he absolutely knew that he was going to get a reaction. And as you see, he been all over YouTube panels with this same damn story. Now these loose niggas decide to call him out, so let's let him continue.
You won't whoop this fat fuck though.
Man, we on the internet, boy. We on the internet, boy. We on the internet, boy. We on the internet, bro. I blues. You don't even know what I do for a living, boy.
You don't know what I
talking about.
Said he'll blues
you don't even know what I do for a living, boy.
I don't care. Bro. It was cat, nigga, because you know damn well you knew where the fuck you was at, nigga. Shut the fuck up. Sounds stupid, nigga.
Fat ass up. Who the fuck still buy leather couches? What is that? A lazy boy? Shut your fat ass up.
Show is a lazy boy, bitch.
Get your fat ass
lazy
up.
boy recliner. You fuck ass.
You need to go get them rolls off your neck check.
Bag ass nigga. I don't want none of them kids because I'm a stupid nigga. Fuck up, nigga. You capping, what? Nigga. You know exactly where the fuck you was, nigga.
Now what? You finished,
nigga?
Are you done? Finished, yeah, nigga, stop talking to me then.
I just told you it was cat.
You cake ass nigga.
You right, I am.
You cake ass nigga. What you talking for?
Goddamn right, nigga.
Cake ass nigga. You don't know me, boy.
I don't need to know you.
Better shut that shit up.
I ain't shutting up a goddamn thing, nigga.
Talking to boy. Fuck
I'm talking to you, loser. Oh, loser ass nigga right here.
Shit like that. Shit like that.
What's gonna change though?
What's gonna change? Shit just to get some clout, nigga.
What's gonna change?
Some pussy, nigga.
What's gonna change?
I'm not none of these niggas who's interested in your capping ass story, nigga. You a fake
well, shut
phony
the fuck
ass
up, you
nigga.
bitch ass nigga. What you talking for?
Phony
what are you talking for,
nigga? I'm talking.
What are you talking for,
bitch?
You talking like a hoe.
I'm talking like I'm your daddy,
only
nigga.
bitches speak out of place.
Bitch ass nigga.
Only bitches speak out of place,
nigga.
Angry bad nigga, you right on time, Jack.
Oh yeah, we about to get it cracking out here.
Capping, nigga.
Speaking out of place like a hoe. Better check
capping,
yourself,
nigga. You gonna be a cap. I'm gonna keep telling you capping, pussy.
Capping off what?
I was drunk. I didn't know where I was. Shut the fuck up with your stupid ass.
Capping off what?
Stupid ass. That's why I don't like.
Yo, man, why y'all niggas always devolve into niggatry, man? Every chance y'all get,
you ain't falling like a hoe scrolling with your fingers.
I'm scrolling.
You better get your. You
scrolling, nigga.
Yourself.
I'm scrolling,
nigga.
I ain't gotta.
You pussy ass fuck, nigga.
You won't say it to my face though.
Shut your weak ass. So we on the internet.
Can we get
you want the address, nigga?
Can we get back to fall?
Type it backstage, nigga.
Next time.
Type it backstage, nigga. What you talking about? Goofy ass nigga.
So can we get back to fathers?
Gonna get hurt.
And keeping women off of poles. Can we get back to fathers and keeping women off of poles?
Black some bitch.
Oh,
I think we fundamentally
fat ass nigga.
I'll be fat, nigga.
We have a flaw in that whole conversation at this point.
What's up?
They was talking about the single black mothers that you create, and Trigger Mike thought it was wrong that you do like that. But you know, I ain't really have an opinion on it, so I wanted to know what your opinion on it was. You dig?
What single black mothers?
Yeah.
He said that you was creating them, that you was manufacturing single black mothers, and it's damaging the community.
What's the definition of a single black
I ain't never say none of the women was black.
God damn, is this
what you got to say to that, Trigger Mike?
First of all, you know Trigger Mike didn't say a goddamn thing.
There you go.
It's very vocal
nigga.
a second
But I
ago,
do
nigga.
have questions. Let
Now
me
you
get them
quiet.
formulated.
It's in the back, nigga. Pull up, nigga.
God damn.
God damn, that nigga over time dangerous.
It's in the back. Don't pull up, nigga.
Don't pull up.
He got
That's
quiet.
a bad idea. Don't pull
Notice?
up. Abort mission.
Notice? Abort mission. You damn right. Wait a minute. That nigga done put his address in the back. And let me speak on that for a minute. Folks, y'all better stop this shit. Y'all better stop that shit of telling niggas to pull up at your house or putting addresses in the back, because some of these niggas will show up. Some of these niggas is really about that life. Ask, what's his name? He thought he was safe at the fitness center. Got that ass broke down, mollywopped in the bathroom. You better stop. An IP address is an easy thing to figure out. Y'all better stop this pull-up shit. And you see, my man got real goddamn quiet when old boy said, "It's in the back. Come on up." What you gonna do now? That's the problem. Somebody threatened me before talking about he was gonna show up. Randy SoCal talking about he was gonna show up. Nigga, the problem ain't finding me. It's what you're gonna do when you get here. You think I'm gonna allow you to get back on that plane and tell your story of how you came down to Charleston, South Carolina and beat DJ Music's ass? Hell no. You can forget that shit. You got 2 chances of getting out of here alive. Slim and none. Get no reputation off me, motherfucker. Better get on up out of here. Let's go round up some more of these loose niggas.
They give you their address, abort mission.
Uncle Tom, my nigga, for that, man.
That nigga probably sent the post office or the police department.
We public figures, so we can't keep our information from getting out. We can just prepare for your arrival.
This is black community in full swing.
If you got enough money,
I ain't never scared of no nigga. Come over if you
This is
want
the
to.
black community in full swing.
It ain't gonna be like you want it to be. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I ain't none of your niggas that's gonna be running from a nigga.
You on the internet, you bitch ass nigga.
Again, didn't I just give you the address?
You on the internet.
What what place, nigga?
You on the internet.
Time and what motherfucking place?
You are on the internet.
Look. Old boy with that phone right there, that one right there with the blue mic, he's serious. You can tell the look on his face. Nigga, what time, what place? If you bold enough to get on that plane, the outcome is not going to be great when you get here. I promise you. I'm with him on that. The outcome is not... Do you know how long I got prepared to get here before you prepared to beat your ass? Are you really kidding? I'm going to give you an address and just wait for you to show up first and say, hey, I'm here. No, nigga, it ain't going down like that.
Nigga.
You an internet nigga.
Fuck up,
you an internet nigga. You an internet nigga. You fat old ass nigga.
Going to see all these crackers, nigga.
You internet nigga.
To the house, nigga.
Yo, Uncle Tom.
I sent some your way.
No,
Uncle Tom.
Your ass this way, nigga.
Yeah.
Uncle Tom, chill, bro. Chill.
I'm trying to
entertained? Are you not entertained?
This is an opportunity to observe you niggas in your natural habitat and collect data. But be warned, whatever nigga trickery you got up your sleeves does not affect me.
Yo, you see, this is...
That's right. This is an opportunity to watch you niggas in your natural habitat. And that's just what I'm doing. I told you, this is the real loose nigga roundup. And this looks like about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of you niggas up here I can throw a quick rope around. Perform me a nigga exorcism off in this bitch. Shit. Read, nigga. Read sometime. God damn, all y'all loose niggas sitting up on this internet here 24 hours a day, 7 days. Look. Up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's super nigga. I came down here to round up you list niggas. You loose niggas. Strange visitor from another planet. I came here with powers and ability far beyond and beyond you loose niggas. I can change the course of loose niggas with one hand. All y'all got to do is listen. Now let's return to the benches of loose nigga roundup.
The black community in full swing right here. This is it right here. See, let's pay attention. This is the narrative that everybody wants to believe right here. Pay
this
attention.
Fat ass lost 2 pounds in his address. Fat ass.
You can say all
Get
you
your
want,
bitch ass up.
You won't put.
You better go walk. You better go. You better go.
You better go send someone else because you too pussy to do it. We already know that.
You don't know shit about me, boy.
I told you what to do, nigga.
I told you what to do. I told you what to do, nigga. You a goofy ass old nigga. You been lame all your life.
Right. I'm
goofy
lame,
ass
nigga.
old nigga.
I'm so lame.
You a
nigga.
goofy ass old
I'm
nigga.
so
been
lame,
lame all
nigga.
your motherfucking life.
You got
So
mad.
how's a hypocrite? You the nigga with 7 baby mamas?
Puss ass up. Yeah, it's a puss ass nigga say he got 7 baby mamas. Oh,
You the nigga with 7 baby mamas?
I'm that nigga. I've been that nigga.
You are a nigger. Let me ask you a question.
You ain't even got your face on the camera. Bitch, don't talk to me.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Put your face on the camera, then I'll talk to you. Nigga.
Now, let me ask you, what for? Nigga, you need to see me to hear me? What the fuck? What is this about these guys that always come up with that demand of put your face on the camera so I can see what you look like? Like that's gonna affect my words any differently. A dumb nigga's a dumb nigga. What, you a little one of them left-handed, you one of them and them motherfuckers in the alphabet community, you feel by you looking at me, you can think of something better to say? What you want to see? my background, what you want to see, my face, what you want to see, whether I have gray hair or whether I'm bald headed, whether I'm fat or skinny, what difference that's gonna make? The fact that you so-called yourself proud of going out there making 7 women pregnant and got the nerve to jump on a social media platform and brag about it. What about seeing me or anybody else is going to change the fact that you one of them ain't shit niggas that everybody is talking about? What's going to change that fact, you dumb fuck?
Nigga, I don't want to, nigga, I don't need you looking in my eyes for validation, nigga. That don't mean nothing to me. I don't need no nigga looking me in the eyes, nigga. Fuck out of here. That's gay shit.
Who the fuck is
what you talking about?
What's the question?
Pink, nigga.
Gay ass nigga out here talking about, let me look in your eyes, nigga. Get the fuck out of here. I asked you a question, nigga.
Nah, man. Somebody gotta undo that, nigga. Somebody gotta undo that, nigga. Drop that 20, bring that nigga back, man. Y'all tripping,
I'm
man.
formulating questions over here.
Well,
all of y'all brought them been on the panel with him. I ain't been on the panel with him.
Hold on, House of Hypocrite. Somebody about to bring you back, G.
I'm just watching. I'm just paying close attention to all the events that's transpiring.
Hey man, hey angry man, niggas was mad with him. Why ain't nobody had a smoke for him except Uncle Tom? What? I thought he was the #1 enemy of the black community.
I got questions, but that shit won't done yet. I got questions.
Wait. I'm trying to figure it out myself.
Niggas had to pay to get him up out of here.
Wasn't because when he wasn't up here, everybody was like ribbit and raw, raw. Like, and now all of a sudden, the only person got smoke for him is Uncle Tom.
Hey,
he gonna come back. He gonna come back.
Listen, y'all was gonna grab the young whippersnapper by the scruff of his neck and hold him accountable.
Don't wait for the back.
All right, nigga. Let me
put him back up there.
Hey, bitch,
he broke back. Let me
told you, nigga. I ain't answering shit for that nigga that's gonna hide his face.
Over 1 or over 2.
But I wasn't on camera. You want to look in my eyes, you old mook ass nigga? Let me ask you a question. You having a whole bunch of kids, right?
He got credit.
What do you think you doing for somebody?
Before they answer that, here's my thing, folks. That's at least $60 that's just exchanged hands to keep or to bring back a loose nigga on a panel so he can talk more bullshit. That's $60 you could have sent somewhere to a homeless shelter. You could have sent to a boys and girls club. Y'all could have done anything with that money, but y'all sit up there night after night. An angry man in the background cheering it on, talking about, I thought y'all was going to grab this young man by the scruff of the collar. Well, aren't you there for that, angry man? Isn't that what you're supposed to be doing? Teaching the young men in the ills and the ways of being responsible. Shouldn't that be part of your angry man standard, not to go around impregnating and creating the same thing that we trying to combat? Not a word. Not a fucking word, except encouragement. Y'all get him.
Right? And I admit, them dumb bitches just like you. All of y'all a bunch of motherfucking losers.
Hey, Black Thought, I think his point of contention, Black Thoughts, I think his point of contention, and I think not angry man, I think Anton might agree with him, is you not having the camera on while addressing him.
Oh, here we go with these cape flying in the wind ass nigga.
I'm being quite objective, kind sir.
Yeah,
no cape.
For shit, I'm not about to talk to no nigga that hide his motherfucking face when he talking to me. You better say that shit with your chest, oh weak ass nigga.
So where all of the niggas that was up in arms about this nigga? Because everybody had smoke. Where y'all at? Niggas hiding and shit.
That was stand on his shit.
Uncle Tom. Uncle Tom, you a real nigga. You a real nigga, Uncle Tom.
Hey,
I told you.
I'm about to say, me and House of Hypocrites. Me and House of Hypocrites, we done talked a few times, right? Like he said, hey, I done stand on it, me and him.
Y'all should get along though.
What's
Really
your
though,
mook
Daryl.
ass nigga? What up, yo mook ass nigga?
Oh shit!
You talking about?
Oh shit, house. That nigga on your ass.
Yo,
that nigga on your ass,
nigga. Yo,
talk your
deadbeat
shit,
piece
Black
of
Dog.
shit. Fuck you talking about, nigga. Fuck you talking about. You out here running your mouth talking about it on camera. Fuck out of here, nigga.
You look like
I dress
Brother
you
Polite,
on
you
camera,
ugly
off camera, nigga. You a
look
mook
like
ass
Brother
nigga
Polite.
running your mouth, running around. You a part of the problem, nigga. You the problem. You
I am the
bum ass
problem.
nigga. And them bum ass bitches you fucking with. Them project chicks. You ain't shit, nigga. Need a dick, you pussy ass nigga. Let me tell you something. Mook ass niggas like you. All right, you niggas is the problem. Y'all making black men look bad. Dumbass nigga. You and them dumbass bitches you fucking, them hood project bitches that fuck with corny ass niggas like you, and you come up here because a whole bunch of dumbass hood niggas think that you a fucking hero. You ain't shit, nigga.
What kind of hood niggas?
Bunch of bum ass hood niggas. Ain't doing nothing, nigga.
You done,
Fuck
nigga?
you talking about?
You done, nigga? Turn
You
the camera
mook
back.
ass nigga. You a mook.
Turn the
Shut
camera
the
back
fuck
out.
up,
Them
nigga. You a
teeth
mook.
fucked up.
Come on. You a
You
mook,
need some
nigga.
dental insurance or something, boy.
You
need
a
to go
mook,
get this.
nigga.
I see why you
You
had
a
the camera
mook,
out.
nigga.
I see you done bit into your future with the motherfucking teeth.
Fuck you talking about, nigga. You bum ass nigga. First you said you wanted me on camera. Now I came on cam and you saying you want me off camera.
Yeah,
You bitch ass nigga. Shut the fuck up.
off the camera, boy.
Nigga, shut up.
You bite into this connection.
Mook ass. Mook ass nigga. You can't do nothing, nigga.
Black Thought, somebody else got to get in here.
Corny ass, bring down the community ass.
Hey, Black Thoughts. Let's let Trigger Mike's barber get into the conversation. That nigga got a sense of humor.
This nigga, I can't even say shit to you.
Project,
That
bitch,
nigga Trigger Mike
fucking
never
ass
gonna forgive me
nigga.
for this shit.
I'm never.
Stupid ass nigga. Shut your mouth, nigga. Shut your motherfucking mouth. Nigga, shut up. You ain't never had a bitch outside the project, nigga.
You not even on my
mook ass nigga. Shut your mouth, nigga. Shut up, nigga.
You not even on my tax
Shut up, nigga.
I'm gonna pay you to shut up.
Oh, let me guess. Your tax bracket is baby mama's fucking child support, all that bullshit ass tax return. I'll pay for you and your baby mama. Yo, broke ass nigga. Nigga, shut up. Shut up, nigga. Shut up, nigga. You need to go find a woman to lay on. Lay on a woman ass nigga. Fuck out of here.
Explain that.
Wait, Black Thoughts, are you saying that he's a?
Explain that.
Are you saying that he's a homosexual? Are you saying that he's a homosexual?
In full swing. In full swing.
A what?
Damn. I think he's accusing you of being one hobosexual. That is a man that uses dick to procure a living arrangement.
Meaning you're a pussy,
nigga.
Like that.
I got a car outside worth more than your whole house, nigga. Bum ass nigga.
Ladies and gentlemen, how to man for all of this ambiguous.
That nigga said, I got a car outside worth more than your whole house, you bum ass nigga. Listen, be careful what you ask for, because as soon as my man cammed up, he went off on your pink wearing ass. Oh, nigga. This was a pretty good loose nigga roundup right here. This is the dude right here that said that he impregnated 7 women, and told them all that he didn't want to have no kids. They couldn't find him because the child support, nigga, you can't hide from child support. Child support gonna be at your grave talking about, nigga, wake up. We want the rest of that shit. You got any rings on? Give me that jewelry. Hell no. What's them headphones you got on? You won't be needing them where you going. Child support gonna get theirs, brother, man. Believe that. Long as you got a social security number and you got a job, ain't no way. But then you said, All these women was toss up. So that talks about the caliber of the women that you chase. Low bottom feeding ass, bottom dwelling of the society. Probably some of these, I hate to say, some of these women out there that lost their wear on drugs, crackhead. Those are the kind of women that you go and entertain yourself with. Get pregnant. And then try to come on YouTube for some clout. The fuck out of here.
Needs for all of your disambiguation needs, ladies and gentlemen.
Go ahead, Trigger Mike. Go ahead, Trigger Mike.
All right.
All I know is when this man was not up here, y'all had all kind of intellectual arguments.
It always be like that. When a motherfucker hit the room, everybody want to shut the fuck up. I wonder why.
Wait a minute. How's the hypocrite?
You niggas heard that?
And I've been in it bit watching.
I'm here, nigga. Where we at?
I got a question. Because you're right, AM. I see it too. A lot of people don't got smoke all of a sudden, but I think, are you aware, House of Hypocrites?
Hey, hold on for a second. Kazi, first and foremost, you bitch ass nigga.
No.
Very fucking clear. Very motherfucking clear. Hold on. Who is that? Who's that?
Not Kazi. No.
Oh, what about Kazi? That's one of your biddies.
Yeah. Those my people. Just let it go.
My bad. Just out of respect for Aaron O, I ain't gonna cook your ass, goddammit. But look, everybody know where I stand on this fucking topic. I said it before and I'm gonna say it again. I don't believe who this man is fucking is anybody's business. Now, have I changed my position on that?
I give to his shit every fuck. I said it was capping.
Let me say this.
Changed my position. I ain't talking about you, Uncle Tom. Have I changed my position on that once? All right, goddammit. Y'all know where I stand on the shit. It ain't nobody's business where he put his Johnson unless you gonna take care of the motherfucking kids. But like I said, when you gonna break out the motherfucking adoption papers? Because if you ain't gonna break out the adoption papers, that means you don't give a fuck about the kids. So let's kill this community argument where niggas is like, oh, the community. We gotta say the community. Niggas don't want to say the goddamn community.
I'm gonna ask y'all this. If I sign all my rights over, am I still a deadbeat?
Yeah, you should be.
You asking a panel full of dads, bro. I think we biased, bro.
Hey man, shit. If some men were able to sign their rights over, they would do it.
If I exalt my legal responsibility to these children, am I still a deadbeat?
You shouldn't be.
Why is that?
Because they can straight up delete the
Damn,
baby.
trucker, what the fuck?
If they don't want to take care of it, they can delete the baby.
Damn, they got House of Hypocrites the fuck up out of here.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. This is why this man existence is necessary.
So that if I ever got my point out,
you niggas are. Do you see this how to man?
Yeah, bro, this shit crazy.
This is triggered like a motherfucker. Like another grown man. Yo, the last time I seen dudes be this triggered, I swear to God, was Cynthia G.
All right there, ladies and gentlemen, about time to wrap this up. And I had to let you hear the king of the bullshitters, the king of the grifters right there, the angry man. Listen, if he had not got angry man, if he had not got on the internet, if he had not got on TikTok, we wouldn't know about that man's business. He put his business in the street, you dumbass. You the same motherfucker that run around talking about single women are the problem. Single black women in more particular are the problem. You the woman that's saying, you're the motherfucker that's running around saying that women should be careful who they sleep with, or you are gonna end up a single and a baby mama. But then you backing this piece of shit. And the best way, the best angry man way you know how. It ain't my business. Are you gonna pay his debt? And no, and just because you sign over your parental rights, that does not absolve you of financial obligation, dumbasses. So again, adds to what TLA was saying. I thought you didn't know none of these motherfuckers. I thought they had no way of finding you. How the fuck did you sign the paper to release all your parental rights? I thought you didn't know none of these babies, mama. I thought you disappeared, or I thought you became a ghost. That's why I had to do this loose nigga roundup, because none of these loose niggas called you out on that. They was trying to find a way to justify what you was doing was okay, except for a few of the brothers on the panel who called you out exactly what you wore. A bullshit artist, a no good, sorry, good for nothing black man. And that's exactly what you are. You're not a man, you're a fucking male. You're a sorry, good for nothing black male. And I hate to say it, but you know there's two places where you should be. Either where they put 3 hots in a cot, or whether you're laying stretch out with some new shoes on. R.I.P. nigga. I'm out.